Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I just got back from seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So here's just my quick thoughts. There's gonna be spoilers at the end of it. Or at least spoilers for the scenes that weren't in the trailers. But really there's not too much I can say about this cuz again, a lot of the movie was shown in the trailers. I guess that's one thing before I even talk about the movie that I didn't really like, that a lot of the plot was spoiled in the trailer, because we know that Knuckles and Dr. Robotnik team up. We know they go after Sonic. We know that Robotnik eventually gets his hand on the Chaos Emerald from the games. We know that Sonic teams up with Tails. And we know that Robotnik creates that huge robot thing from the video games. So there's not too much that I can really spoiler, but there are a couple at the very end of this video. So I guess just to start off, this movie knocked it out of the park for me. I already had pretty high expectations for this one. After seeing the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, because that one just blew me away. I did not have high expectations for that one. I thought it was just going to be another dumb video game movie. But I saw it anyway because I remember playing the original Sonic games, and I also played the ports for the phones and iPods. So I decided to see it, and that one just blew me away with just, first off, with how good Sonic looked, and how great of a performance Jim Carrey gave. There really isn't any other Jim Carrey movie that I've seen that I actually liked his performance in. Granted, the first Jim Carrey movie that I really saw, or at least truly remembered, was Batman Forever, and then that was shortly followed by a series of unfortunate events. And I guess just every single Jim Carrey performance I saw after that, I just never really liked. But with him as Dr. Robotnik in these movies, it actually felt like he was giving it his all, and he was giving 100% Jim Carrey having fun, that kind of vibe. So it was really funny in and of itself that Sonic the Hedgehog was the movie that finally gave him his groove back, kind of. And I was also a bit surprised just how well both the first movie and this one, how they both stray away from the video games and yet still stay so faithful to them. And I grew up watching Sonic X and the original Sonic the Hedgehog, but I do know that in a lot of iterations, Sonic is actually not on Earth. He's in the Green Hill Zone, which I'm pretty sure was the name of the town that he was in the movies. But I'm pretty sure the Green Hill Zone is a different world entirely. And then there's obviously the Mushroom World that is featured at the end of the first movie, as well as the beginning of the second one. But I just found it so interesting how they how they technically strayed from the source material, but they also still kept so much of it intact. And that was always cool how they did that. But with the second one, it's they took what worked with the first movie and dialed it up to 11. Because, so in the first movie, you just have Sonic, Robotnik, and that's pretty much it for, the whole lore with the original games. And then the second one, it does, what the MCU did, where they added more characters, they added more lore from the games. They added in Tails and Knuckles. They added in the whole story about the owls, the echidnas, and the Chaos Emeralds, which form into the Master Emerald, which at the very least, with the way that they portrayed them in the movie, they're basically sort of like their version of the Infinity Stones, and like we even saw in the trailers, like when Robotnik finally gets his hands on them, he basically becomes like a guy that you could probably see like kicking Thanos' ass. Which I'll get back to that in a second, but and like then of course like they bring in like that huge robot version of Robotnik that he uses in the video games. So it and then like right before I forget, like, and then I guess one of the spoilers is that a lot of characters, including like that one guy who's shown in the trailers, who I can't remember his name, but he was in Criminal Minds. I do know that. He and like all these other people are members of this like new sort of like SWAT FBI group called Gun, which I haven't played every single Sonic game, but I'm pretty sure like they're an organization like specifically from those video games. So that was also like another neat little world building segment there. Another few quick things that I did like were like the opening logos where it says like Sega original film, and also the end credits where just like in the first game, just like in the first movie, the end credits are stylized like the video games, where it actually plays the entire plot, but in like 16-bit pixel form. And that's always a nice little charming thing to see, like right before the end credits, right before the end credits scene. So I guess from here on out, like I'm just gonna talk about a little bit about the spoilers. So, I guess one of the spoilers is that like Gun now exists in this like little shared universe that I'm pretty sure the second movie was building up towards. Another one is that the Master Emerald that Eggman Robotnik was in control of, it shattered into the smaller Chaos Emeralds, which Sonic then absorbed and became like Supersonic, like in the TV shows, where his like fur becomes gold and his eyes go red. And he basically becomes like Superman at that point, which is cool, but I'm also a little bit iffy on that whole thing, and just like with the Chaos Emeralds in general being in the second movie, because like I said, the Chaos Emeralds are basically like the Sonic the Hedgehog version of the Infinity Stones, and they just use that plot line in the second film. So now I have to ask, like, where do they go from here? Because they already basically had an Avengers level fight at the end of this movie. Like, in a lot of ways, the stakes felt more raised than an Avengers film, especially when you have Robotnik saying, like, he's gonna take over, like, Green Hills, then he's gonna take over the world, then the universe, then the entire multiverse. So I'm not really sure like how Sonic the Hedgehog 3 will raise the stakes, unless if the post-credit scene has anything to go by, where during the mid-credits sequence, there is a tease that Robotnik might still be alive after that final fight with Sonic when he becomes like the Super Saiyan guy. But then there's also a tease to Shadow the Hedgehog, who I believe he was featured like late in the games. It's been a while since I've played them, but according to like the head of Gun, like there was like a secret project from possibly decades ago, like Project Shadow, and it shows like a black and red hedgehog who is like Shadow. And honestly, I don't think that he should be in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Or at the very least, not in a movie called Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I guess what I mean by that is we've already gone from like Sonic the Hedgehog, where it was a really great battle with Sonic and Robotnik at the end in Green Hills, right? And then the second movie, like, it dialed it up to 11 with the whole storyline about, like, the Chaos Emeralds and Robotnik gaining control of it, basically becoming the most powerful being in the universe, and then they stopped him, like, at the very end of it. So, unless they do something, like, that raises the stakes higher in the third movie, I feel like that would be a little bit underwhelming. It's like, I guess it would be like if it was basically like Iron Man and then it goes straight to Infinity War if the Avengers defeated Thanos, and then like they go back to, I guess, I don't know, the first Avengers or something like that. So personally, I think that it will probably work if instead of calling it Sonic the Hedgehog 3, you actually make Shadow the main character and just call it Shadow the Hedgehog. And like if they wanna like pull from his own solo game where he's actually using guns, like I'd say like bump up the rating to a PG-13, because why not? Because the way I see it, like Shadow the Hedgehog is basically supposed to be like the Punisher, but like in Sonic's universe. So if they're going to like actually have him use guns like in his own video game, then maybe it should be raised to a PG-13. Because like this isn't, unfortunately, this isn't the 80s where like people can like the heroes can run around with guns anymore, because you know. But back to the movie itself. I did like how they took the first movie that was basically like a buddy road trip film, and then they upped the scale again and made it like a globetrotting Indiana Jones adventure and trying to find like the Master Emerald that Knuckles was supposed to find. So that was always pretty cool. It was also pretty cool, like in showing how like Knuckles was like originally an enemy because like Robotnik manipulated him until like Robotnik betrayed him and he ended up teaming up with Sonic. And I guess really the only other thing that I didn't really like was there are quite a few sequences in this movie where there's quite a few sequences in this in the second movie where like Sonic doesn't use his speed, or I feel like he probably could to make to like resolve the issue. Like there's a certain scene like in a bar where Sonic and Tails resort to like a dance off basically, like to get the map that Sonic had since the first movie. And the whole time I'm just thinking like Sonic can probably use his speed to just snatch the map away and probably hide out somewhere, even though it's technically in the middle of night and like it's cold. I'm pretty sure they could find a way to like dodge all the guys and everything, but movie's got a movie, I guess. But really, other than that, the movie was still quite great. Like, they still upped the scales like from the first movie in basically every way possible. And whether the sequel will be Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or just a spin-off of Shadow the Hedgehog, I'm definitely going to see that one again. So, goodbye for now, and definitely go see Sonic 2.